All right. So we'll see if I'm gonna watch this whole thing. I highly doubt it. And if I do, it'll be split into two parts because this is a 2 hour and 15-minute long video. Now, I've already reacted to the video that Tectone is about to watch, which is I guess, condensed summary of all of the drama that Tectone has been involved in since the very beginning, which I think there's a total of 6 or 7. So I've already done my own reaction. That's going to be posted before this video, obviously. But now I want to see what Tectone has to say about it, which is going to be very interesting because some of them are kind of interesting, but let's find out.
As I always do, discord.gg/Tectone. And this dude comes into my voice call and he says, Tectone, do you allow me to talk about videos that people make? And I say, not if it's self-promotion, but anything else, yeah. And he says, well, I'm going to do a little bit of self-promotion. I say, okay, I'll hear you out. He said that he went on Reddit and he kept on hearing things about the problems that I did, the problems that I caused. And whenever he would look into it or ask, what are they talking about? People would just say, well, look into it for yourself and you'd understand about how I cause problems in every single community that I'm a part of. And I said, okay, so what'd you do? He looked into every single drama that he was aware of that I have, found all the source material, and he formed an opinion of me, and he wanted to make it very clear that he was not a fan of me. But he made this video anyways to kind of understand what his perspective was of being a lore master for Tectone lore. So now I'm gonna watch this shit, and we're gonna see how it goes. The video is made by Riker Watts, which I'm gonna subscribe to.
Hell yeah.
And I guess if you're ever wondering all of the issues I've ever caused for every other community and all of these things that people say that I've done, well, I guess we're gonna have somebody else's perspective on this with sources I've been told. And he also says that he states all of the issues neutrally and then presents the outcome at the end of the video. So apparently the first 40 minutes is the explanation and the last 20 minutes is the outcome to everything. So I guess let's just watch this thing in its entirety. And feel free to subscribe to my channel and feel free to subscribe to Riker Watts. But this is kind of cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of cool. Let's go.
What's happening right now
it was a really good video,
people are taking
I will say.
I look so ugly.
Disgusting that is? Clipping them out of context.
You know what you and Adolf Hitler said? I can't make that argument because I have a brain.
Translating them incorrectly.
How much that hurt me that I hate 24 hours.
I never did.
Benefits them more.
Not capturing the sarcasm.
Oh my god! This intro is crazy!
Nuances of my speech pattern.
Oh, dude, you called God, you cryo Amber.
And now I'm being posted on Billy as a arrogant,
They should because I can't keep my mouth shut.
loud-mouthed dipshit.
I didn't because I blocked their
Jesus Christ!
It's just unnecessary.
Dude, that first 50 seconds is why I love my own content, man. Good God. I am a loud, outspoken, bald man. Actually love it.
Really not bad.
When it comes to content creation, there's a multitude of different ways to present an idea or an opinion.
Yeah.
Whether or not it will be accepted by the wider audience is up for debate.
True.
As day in and day out, thousands of hours of content is uploaded to YouTube, spanning widely different topics. In the more niche creator spaces, you might find drama over things that generally do not make sense to get upset over. Others have more viable drama that ends up having real consequence.
Yeah.
For a certain gacha gaming creator, this is no exception. However,
Listen, man, you can say whatever you want about my content. You can say whatever you want about my streams, about who I am. There is one thing that you cannot deny. I cause so much crazy shit to happen by merely existing. It is insane. And it's very cool.
He does
when
cause
my
a lot of
chat
shit.
gets to sit here and actually really be a part of that experience. And the reason why it makes me really happy is because I know that when I talk on Twitch, people listen. Because whenever my chat knows I'm about to monologue, they take their hands off the keyboard and they're like, okay, what dumbass shit is he about to say? And then once I finish, chat will explode with either emotes or people saying that I should kill myself. It's like I speak, I see the chat stop moving, I finish, oh, dude, I love that feeling, bro. It's so good.
However, the severity of the drama he faced and the subsequent backlash over his tenure making videos on gacha games is interesting, with the
Okay,
time
correction. I have not been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 5 years.
it spans and the intricacies of his drama and outcomes. It only stands to reason that one should go deep.
Hey, no man.
However, with there being several dramas over several years, finding all the information can be difficult, as a lot of it has been removed.
God dang it.
Oh,
Lulu.
tenure. Tenure.
No,
Or
ma'am.
10 years. Okay, gotcha.
No
One reason or
dominating.
another.
Stay over there.
Here, we're
Leave her
going to condense it
alone.
all to the best of my ability. There's a saying that goes along the lines of, if you want to know somebody, walk a mile in their shoes.
I wear size 15.
John
Good luck.
Robertson, who we will now on refer to as his online alias, Tectone, was born in the USA
How does bro know my whole name?
on December 23rd of 1993.
December 29th.
Growing up, his childhood was fraught with family drama.
True.
In the years leading up to his adulthood, there were many aspirations that Tectone had, from being a professional wrestler
Yep,
to
year and a
acting
half.
in general.
For anybody who
Acting-
doesn't know, I
That's
have
Usually theater,
crazy.
2.5.
okay.
Still blows me
I
away
did
that
wrestling
that
for a
he
while,
did
got injured,
Yep.
and I went to
the
Sorry.
wrestling shit.
in college, studied that for about 2 years, and
Yep.
then I did professional play.
Yep,
A big
it's awesome.
passion of mine until I took a
Video
interactive
game theory.
media and graphic design course in which I realized, hey, YouTube, I
Yep.
can do this.
I dropped out 2 weeks before I was going to graduate just because I knew I was going to be a YouTuber.
However, his career steered into making content shortly after taking courses on interactive media.
Yep.
While this is an insanely abridged version of his story, his history before the very first video he made could be summarized as he was born, grew up in a military household with several siblings, did not get along well with all of them, eventually
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? So I've distanced myself from my family drastically. They're still getting into drama every single day. My dad went on the Steak and Eggs podcast, and he said some bullshit that some of my brothers didn't want getting out, and now they are very angry.
Oh shit.
Because one, some of it wasn't true, and two, some of it was true, but they don't want to hear the consequences for their own actions. It's so funny. And so I said, nah, I'm good. Gave them my take, and I said, hey, y'all deal with it. I prefer the family I've chosen versus the family I've been born with, me personally. So I'm gonna just chill with my friends. I don't need this bullshit anymore. You know how many issues my friend group has had? 0. In 3 years, 0.
So I don't know. Bringing your family into your Twitch, like, public sphere, isn't my favorite thing. I don't know. I think that's kind of messed up. I don't think he should have talked about his brothers if his brothers didn't give him permission. But yeah, that's just me.
he moved out. Somewhere in there, he began playing gacha games that led him down this path. Tectone's first video was of a mobile game known as Summoner's War, where we can see his desire for improvements on a game that he clearly had a passion for.
And I feel like some of the ideas
My first
I
video,
have in
man.
the game could be pretty easily implemented and also very beneficial for the community, and also
I love how insane my ego's been from minute one, because from minute one, I've been telling game developers how to run their games better than they do. I need to make my own game and put my money where my mouth is, man. I really do.
so, you know,
While games such as Summoner's War brought him to homelessness due to the predatory practices of the game's pay-to-win elements for PvP, the main
True.
focus of the game, Tectone bounced back and moved forward.
Yes, sir.
His most well-known drama that started was in Arknights, but there is a lesser-known one that he was a part of in a game called Skylanders.
So all the games that I've ever played, Summoner's War, Skylanders, Aloon, Ulala Idle Adventure, Sinnoh Alice, Seven Deadly Sins, Grand Cross, Arknights, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail. I would probably say those are the 9 games that I've covered over my 5 years of being a content creator.
So I went to this new game, and it was called Skylanders Ring of Heroes. And now here's the important thing. This is the only game in my entire channel that you cannot find me make any videos for, even though I made videos for that game for over half a year.
I will say what happened with Skylanders Ring of Heroes is very sad, and I don't really ever talk about it. And I am curious if he talks about it in this video, because the Skylanders Ring of Heroes shit was very, very, very dark.
In Skylanders, a clan was exploiting a massive bug to
Epic.
defeat a difficult challenge to gain rewards leagues ahead of everyone else.
Nobody else knew the glitch until one of my mods and his name is Mateo.
Mateo, are you here? You've been here every stream for like years. I wonder if Mateo is here right now.
That's actually crazy.
Is he here? No, he might not actually be here this stream, man. Let me know if Mateo pops up in chat.
Told me about their bug exploit.
Yeah, so Mateo was originally an annoying piece of shit, and then he turned his back on his entire guild and exposed the exploit they were using to get ahead of this game, and they kicked him from the guild, and so I made him my mod to make up for it.
Mateo stabbed Epic in the back and told me how they were doing it.
There it is.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Tectone, having his suspicions come true in the form of a whistleblower within said clan, brought it to the attention of the community manager. After a quick
Captain
investigation lasting only 2 weeks, the clan in question was summarily banned and disbanded.
Yep.
However, the backlash of Tectone voicing against their exploit initially caused this clan to harass and false report Tectone.
Yep.
She saw all these people trying to get me banned, and she reached out to me personally. And she said, Tectone,
So sweet.
this can't be true. You aren't exploiting bugs, are you? Why are we getting so many mass reports of you exploiting bugs?
This was the first time I ever saw a company like treat their content creators with preferential treatment, and I'm not sure if they say what happens, but you're probably going to see why they don't do that anymore.
The hatred was shifted to the community manager that led to her eventual firing.
They
Yep.
stopped going after me,
Wow.
and they went after her instead. And unfortunately, she lost her job because with that many people complaining about your CM, the company was forced to move their hand.
I forgot
So the
about
CM
this.
had my back and wouldn't ban me because she knew that I wasn't doing anything wrong. So this Epic guild, that had a Discord server of over 400 people, all put in false reports on her misactivity as a community manager, and they got her fired from the company, and I've never heard from her ever again. Really up. Really up shit.
The history of this drama is short and uneventful, but the actual start of its controversies. From one game to the next, Tectone eventually made his way into the first documented drama that still follows him today.
Arkanites? Arkanites! Arkanites! Love this game! Let the record be known, this was the first game that I've ever had drama with another content creator. I'm putting Dreamy's name as a content creator in quotations, because they're dog shit at their job. And I hope they get upset by me saying that, because I don't care.
All right, I'm
Arknights.
actually gonna skip this one
In a game
because
surrounded
this
by
drama
PvP instead of PvP, you might find it
is
out of place to find creators basically staying.
it was pretty, obvious that let me move this. It was pretty obvious that Tectone was right about it.
away from one another. The next
So-
one came rather quickly.
This one, I was very interested to see
This
what he had
one's
to
a
say.
rough one, because this happened so many times where we resolved it, they brought it back up, they resolved it, I brought it back up, we resolved it, they brought it back up, then they quit. When they quit, I was being blamed for their quitting. Oh man, that caused me so many issues. When they quit and they said it was because of me, no, it's not. Okay? If you can't handle internet beef, then you shouldn't be a content creator to begin with. Straight. It's something that's expected in the field, man. Straight up. You can't say I quit and it's this guy's whole fault. Insane. Actually insane. Over Zhongli meta takes is nuts.
I mean, you can say it, but I think I even said in my initial reaction, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. But this drama, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it seemed like it stemmed from Tectone.
We all collectively know the outcome of this
Towards
one.
the end.
Zhongli, and subsequently Geo,
Didn't you say Zhongli was better with HP? Yeah, I did, which was a correct take.
got a massive buff overall, making him one of the top Spiral Abyss usages to date, and the best comfort pick for any user in the game. However, before the changes went in, there was an opinion. This opinion was
Zhongli.
opposite of the verbal masses. Tectone,
Was there a drama where you were actually wrong for once? Was there a drama where I was wrong? Yes. Me versus Gotcha Smack, I was wrong 100% because I didn't understand Homie's joke. And we hashed that shit out very quickly. Me and the Kai Senat drama was wrong. because my sarcasm.
So the clip that it's about to play is going to be very, like, I'm very interested to see what he has to say, because, you know, in the clip he tries saying like, oh yeah, I proved so and so wrong using in-game stats and numbers and facts, and you know, he dismantled their arguments. So
Chasm was
I don't
pretty
know.
bad when I look on it. I was way too deadpan, and nobody could have understood that was a joke except for me. But as far as gotcha drama goes, nah, I was pretty spot on. MTash, nah, we were both shitty to each other. That should have happened. Me and MTash were very shitty to each other. Over that, no, 100%. We were both in the wrong. I'm trying to think one where I was 100% incorrect. You were right about Kai?
100%.
Yeah, but I still said it mean. You know, I still think Kai's a good dude. Does Kai even know who you are? Yeah.
One of the biggest content creators for Genshin at the time, touted the counterculture opinion that Zhongli was fine on release.
A little bit more healing. That is literally it. He is one of the best C0 5-stars,
Wanna
in my
move my
opinion,
camera.
in the whole goddamn game.
And this is very important to context, because at the time of release where I had every single character, all we had was Tartaglia, Zhongli, Klee, Chi-Chi, Mona, Diluc, Venti, Jean. Like, when Zhongli came out, and his shield was that busted, we didn't have Diona yet. We did not have Diona yet. At all. And so he was very good when he first came out. Now, he's nuts now, but now he's also bad because Geo's terrible. Yeah, we didn't have Albedo either.
Going to take a hard stance right now. If you are running Zhongli as your main damage dealer, congrats. You can do whatever
You still have Zhongli.
Me was saying that was,
He's
you
fun.
can run
He's
Zhongli
fun.
as a main DPS, but you're an idiot. You can do whatever you want, but you're an idiot. Because Zhongli was always meant to be a supporter CC'er.
Another content creator, a duo actually, sharing the channel by the name Jinx and Tuner,
Yep.
went on to make a video about the frame data and power level of Zhongli compared to the other 5-star units at the time.
And I will admit, they did such a shit job at this. I'm gonna be real. They didn't even test Zhongli at max. They didn't even test HP percent relics. You gotta understand. You gotta understand why that shit pissed me off. Because they said he was shit. They never tried the HP percent build. They never tried him at max level. You know, I don't know what you want me to say, man.
And deemed him underwhelming overall. With the extensive testing that Jinx and Tuner did on the strength of Zhongli, the community dubbed it as the irrefutable proof on why Zhongli needed the buff, or any, in the first place.
Yeah, nah, that's cap.
Tectone's community, knowing Tectone's obnoxious behavior, pushed Tectone into looking at Jinx and Tuner's
Obnoxious, free thinker, passionate, who's to say?
video on Zhongli. This led to Tectone talking with Tuner, a Genshin player who was a little late to the start of the game, but not bad by any stretch.
And I would also say the casual community probably makes up for more than 90% of the community. I feel like the hardcore is...
Yep.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that in any game. The casual community will
Yeah.
make up a super majority
100%.
of any game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I have to
Yeah.
assume the kind of people that are interested in looking up videos are maybe a little bit more geared towards that more competitive because they're learning on bettering themselves. But
Yeah. I agree.
The conversation they had was rather civil, and even though Tectone...
So, I wouldn't say it was civil. One of the reasons why I hated this conversation so much, and this is something that a lot of people who aren't CCs don't get, is that there's one thing, this is back then. Me now, way different. Right? But back then, the big issue that I had with Tuner was that he talked so slow. And the way that he talked and how slow it was killing my viewer count, right? And he kept on yapping about shit that just didn't need to be said at the length that it was. And when it was killing my viewer count, I really just wanted to get the out of the stream. Because I said everything that I needed to say in like 5-10 minutes. Bro was yapping for like over an hour. Like, if you go back through the VOD from my memory, if you go back through the VOD, the amount of time that I spend talking and attempting to joke and entertain versus just Tuner info dumping, there's nothing wrong with that now. But for me, I needed all of my streams to pop off because I was crazily in debt. This is nothing that Tuner had control over. But one of the things that really pissed me off was just like, goddamn, bro, just have your points and get them out. Because I yapped my shit in 5 minutes. He was yapping for like an hour about his points, bro. Shit took forever. Like, bro was talking in 0.2 speed.
He had dubious intentions initially.
I don't know about that.
Conversation with Tuner.
If there's one thing I want your chat to take away, is that just don't harass anybody, right? Because like everybody's truth is their own truth. You know, you have different resources and availabilities to me. You might have had a set on day one. You might have had like the perfect set to make him broken on day one. We didn't have those sets.
I would also like to clarify the use of the word harassing is very different to a Genshin Impact player versus a normal human being. Harassing to someone in the real world is going up to them, pushing them down, being racist, being sexist, being transphobic, punching them in the face. Harassment to a Genshin Impact player was, oh, this guy disagrees with my opinion and now I'm going to cry. So that's the big difference.
So our initial impression was that maybe he was weak, but you had your HPs because you said you're keeping your HP scaling. You're like, holy shit, yeah, dude, just throw HP on this guy. Let's do it. And there you go, you know?
This was him admitting that he just didn't try the HP build, which to me seems very obvious when a guy's entire kit has HP percent scaling on every single ability. So just, what am I supposed to think as a casual creator when somebody doesn't test HP scaling on the guy with only HP scaling?
From the perspective of a whale to a non-whale, all about Zhongli's capabilities. Tuner.
He only had it on alt and shield. So every ability. So you're saying exactly what I said. Every ability. I didn't say everything, because that would have been his auto attack, but I didn't say that. I said on every ability. What you on about, bro? Put the HP set on the HP character.
Spoke plainly and respectfully to Tectone, and in kind, so did Tectone to Tuner. It was rather constructive, and the stream held no ill will once all was said and
Yeah, I don't know why he's saying that it wasn't civil. It sounded pretty civil to me, like they were trying to have a normal conversation. And I also said during, again, like my initial reaction, like it just seems that Tectone was talking from a place of a whale's perspective, and the other two guys, whatever their names are, I already forgot their name, we're talking from a free-to-play perspective. But if it is true that they didn't even try the HP build, that would give a little bit more credence to what Tectone is saying, where it was kind of frustrating that they didn't even try it, but...
done.
Straight up, even though I was annoyed with how the conversation went, I thought we were all good. I thought we hashed it out. And then they left this comment that pissed me the off.
It seemed as if the entirety of the situation was overblown and taken to the worst.
Yeah.
I really want to say, hold on, I really want to say, assuming you're listening right now, I really do appreciate that you took the time to want to talk instead of just talk shit.
Of course.
Straight up.
It
I
really
know,
means
bitch.
a lot to me to know that there are other content creators and other people who care to have a conversation.
And he even thanked me for that conversation. People don't remember that. That this conversation that they later said that I forced them into, they thanked me for doing it at the end of their stream, and I even gifted them subs. Like, so many people forget that shit.
However, a comment left on the upload of Tuner and Tectone's discussion was read.
Was this the comment? Okay, harassment from Tectone's channel is just such an insane thing to say. Bringing up viewer count makes it so weird when you're just talking about the content, what each other's saying. Okay, again, I think the conversation ultimately landed somewhere in the middle with both sides seeing points, but the fact is, Tuner invited a complete stranger into his workspace who was known to be boisterous and had a proverbial gun pointed at his head. What the is that weird ass comment? Like, am I nuts? Or like, that makes it seem like I bullied my way onto his stream.
I mean, I think this comment is like the rhetoric is definitely a little bit like over exaggerated. You know, I think who was known to be boisterous and had a proverbial gun pointed to his head, that is a little bit over the top for me, but People can be put on the spot live. I mean, I understand if Tuner's chat was actually overrun with Tectone's viewers, which isn't Tectone's fault. But I get why maybe Tuner was maybe intimidated or felt very harassed or kind of cornered. But again, like it's not as though Tectone stuck his audience upon Tuner.
Harassed him with my argument and forced him to do as I say. When it was literally like a, hey man, do you want to talk? Are you sure? Okay, when are you free? Okay, let's talk. We talk, he thanks me, I get them subs, he thanks me again. And then they leave this pussy ass passive aggressive comment? Like, that shit was so weird, bro. If this comment never happened, all that shit would have been completely fine. But this comment is so weird. And painting a completely normal conversation as, he had a proverbial gun to my head. What the f is that, bro? And let me know if I'm crazy here. Because to me, this shit is weird as f. But like, I don't know how you go from thanking me on stream, saying that you want to talk, talking, being grateful, giving thanks, and then leave a comment saying, I never wanted to be there. He forced me there over with a gun to my head. Like,
and you know, to kind of give Tectone some credit here, you know, inviting someone who's a lot smaller than you, 5 to 10 times less smaller, is pretty big. You know, Tectone didn't have too much to gain from it. You know, but on the flip side, Tuner obviously knew that Tectone was a lot bigger. So if you're going to go up to bat with someone a lot bigger, then you can't use their size as a crutch if you end up losing. Right? So you kind of have to understand the battle that you're getting yourself into, but invite smaller creators. Exactly. You know, like in, you know, on one hand, it's like, okay, so he's constantly technically, metaphorically, whatever, looking down at the people that he's arguing with in terms of size, but at the same time, he doesn't gain anything from shitting on these people. I guess he gains drama content, but again, these smaller people, if they're gonna poke at Tectone, they have to be ready for his wrath. Right? Because I've said this before, if you take things to a 2 out of 10 or even a 4 out of 10 with Tectone, he will always bring it to a 10 out of 10 on you. So you have to be ready for Tectone to watch your video and just take a steaming dump on you. So again, like, if you don't want to wake the bear, don't poke him. You know?
that shit's so two-faced.
Read by Tectone, and his perception on them changed.
So I went into this conversation.
Okay, this is the clip where I'm kind of against Tectone, but we'll see his justification for this.
For this guy.
Did he write that or did a mod write that? That's a comment from over 4 years ago. YouTube did not have mods back then. Mods can't just leave a comment for you.
And I completely blew him out of the water in like 3 sentences, and then the dude rambled for like 45 minutes. I still hear about people talking about, how I shouldn't have done that because we're on like two completely different social planes, okay?
So what I mean by this comment here is that I get all of my points out defending my position in 3 minutes, and then he spends like an hour and 20 rambling about his. I want to make that very clear. This is I present my argument, we get done with it. I was pissed off because he took so long to talk.
Okay. So anywho, because I absolutely crushed this dude, he took the entire VOD,
Yeah.
uploaded it to YouTube.
Because in my opinion, if you get your points out very quicker and concisely, it's not really a good look when you have to yap for hours and hours and hours. Because this is back in the meta, and then the internet believes this to be true, which is if I talk longer, if I type longer, that makes me more correct. And that shit just pisses me off. It's just say what you need to say and move on.
And said that I was attacking him.
Okay.
True. Weird as shit.
And meanwhile, the only reason why I brought him on was because he was getting so much hate for his
Which he
opinion.
was.
I wanted to give him a bigger platform to express his point of view.
Because this was back in the day where you say, Zhongli needs a buff. Everybody who spent money on it thinks, oh, character bad. You tuner. And then they say it's my fault because my community was harassing him. No, if you shit talk a character in Genshin Impact, you get shit every single time. From day one to day now, you know that's the truth. If you shit talk
Sure.
a character in a gacha game, people will hate you. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Not understanding that Jinjinx and Tuner, more specifically Tuner in this case, weren't aware of Tectone in the first place, since they kept to themselves. The comment left is probably
To be fair, I was also not aware of Jinjinx and Tuner. I just got linked his video in my chat.
deleted, and the only evidence of his existence is within Jinjinx's quitting video itself. The part of the comment Tectone was probably upset about was, quote, Tuner invited a
Yes, I was very upset over this comment.
Yeah.
I was, still am.
Ads.
This guy's smart. This guy knows. I was very angry about this comment.
complete stranger into his workspace who is known to be boisterous and had a proverbial gun pointed to his head, unquote. Which likely is the reason Tectone stated that he was made out to look like the villain.
Weird as shit.
Two different perspectives clashing.
And instead they tried to paint me as a villain, which was fantastic. It was great.
Weird as shit.
And then on that day 4, I just said, oh, well, if people are kicked down, I just won't try to help.
The backlash
True.
Jinjinx and Tuner faced over Tectone's reaction got to Jinjinx, where he ended up taking a break from the channel and subsequently realizing that content creation on YouTube was both unsustainable and made him unhappy,
There you go.
which led to him quitting altogether.
You're welcome.
In the video of him quitting, he brings up
Okay, that's not on me, bro. Okay, if you're gonna quit your job over two guys talking meta, you
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna quit over an anime gotcha game where you disagree over a husbando, yeah, I could see how YouTube might not, be the best option.
that's not on me.
I'm ready to go to bat for Yan Fei, that she is the only 6-star in the entire game.
That is not on me, bro. Like, anybody with common sense would agree that shit is not me, bro. That is not on me.
up the drama that happened.
We thought that after that discussion was done, the drama was over, that was it. But somehow it managed to creep its way back in again a few months later. When we uploaded the VOD of that discussion to our YouTube channel, we also put out a comment that explained the situation that happened and gave context to the entire discussion.
Yeah, the context was that I was a big bad meanie and you hated every second of it. Yeah, dude, what an innocent action. Oh, all we did was upload the VOD and provide context that you were harassing us. Why did you get upset? Yeah, I wonder, dude. Holy
Usually 6-star.
downplaying.
Yan Fei is the only 6-star in the entire game. And that's a fact.
Well, Tectone apparently took that comment as us shit-talking him. In his eyes,
How else would you take that? Guy invites a dude who's known to be an asshole and forces him to communicate with us. How else are you supposed to take that comment?
is our attempts to provide context and tell people exactly what the situation was, and that he ambushed us was us throwing shade at him.
Y'all want to razz on me for that shit. Call me a crybaby. Yet after he
Wait, before Tectone tries to copyright claim us for using clips from his stream. So I will go on record. I have never copyright claimed another piece of content in my entire existence as a content creator. Do you want to know why? Because I don't know how to. So anybody ever making that claim is full of shit. Soul made that claim. Jinx and Tuner made that claim. I never did. Not a single time. And if I did, prove it. Prove it that you got a copyright claim that says sent by Tectone. You will not have that because it does not exist because I've never done it. That's the truth.
Post that video, he put out like public comments about talking how I was bullied through him. Like even on that video.
Yep.
And was even throwing shade.
While also using admittedly effective revisionist history manipulation tactics, like saying things like he dismantled our argument in 2 minutes using in-game data and logic.
Even when other...
Okay, so what I was saying was, is I defended my position in 3 minutes that proved my logic to be sound in seconds compared to Tuner yapping for hours, is what I'm saying here.
content creators came on my channel. Like when Jinx and Tuner came on my channel. Bro, I fucking dismantled him in seconds, and he had to spend 40 minutes trying to justify his cause.
Which I 1,000,000% did. Hey man, you didn't try the HP set on the HP guy, and you didn't even get max level, so why are you talking about it? Did that shit in literal seconds, and then I make a joke talking about STDs and having sex with prostitutes. I don't know what bro thinks I'm yapping about, but that's kind of what I did.
Okay, that actually provides a lot more context about... I didn't realize that Jinx and Tuner never tried the HP build and weren't max level with Zhongli, which is odd. Yeah, so it's like, again, if you're gonna poke at the Tectone, get ready for the forehead, you know?
Right? Y'all were there for that. I dismantled him in seconds.
True.
I have been able to defend every single one of my opinions, beyond a shadow of doubt, using literally in-game data and logic.
Which
HP data. HP scale.
Okay, yeah. If he was talking about, like, Zhongli's description saying, hey, this guy scales off of HP, then, okay, yeah, that actually provides more context. So, alright. Score 1 for Techie.
Scaling on E. HP scaling on Alt. Why did you not try an HP build?
you can easily see is not what happened if you actually just went and watched the VOD.
That's interesting.
That is exactly what happened.
Wow.
Discussion. However, he is the bigger content creator, so he can rewrite history as much as he wants and say whatever he wants.
That is such a soy take. This was
is.
such a soy take.
Yeah.
Everybody who's a content creator knows that when you punch down, you are directly your channel.
Yep.
Everyone knows if you punch up, you get into that creator's algorithm and you only have the ability to gain. Also,
Yep.
is that Mateo? Yo, Mateo, you were in this video, man. When you backstabbed Epic, also 55 months up, by the way. When you backstabbed Epic, bro,
Holy.
that was in this video, man. You got a shout out, bro, for being a homie. That's you, baby. That's you. That's you.
And he knows that his viewers aren't going to bother going back and actually looking at the VOD of this discussion and seeing that all his claims are bullshit.
And I even said this whenever I was watching this dude's video. This is the moment where Jinx and Tuner should have just made a response video showing what was said in the VOD versus the actual in-game data. And I did think that it was weird that they didn't do that, because if you're able to prove that a larger streamer just lied or is trying to rewrite history, you just make a response video, right? It sounds pretty obvious. So I guess that's why, is because Tectone was right.
He said
Should we go back and watch the VOD? I would love to go back and watch the VOD.
Oh shit, are we gonna watch the
That
VOD?
would be a fun time.
That would.
We'll go watch the VOD after this.
situation,
Heck yeah.
the bigger content creator always wins.
No. The smaller content creator always wins because, one, anytime...
Yeah, even if they lose the argument, they still win. You know, you still get the viewership, you still get the slight boost to your channel.
You're involved with drama.
They're trying to make them. Yeah, no, which is interesting because they kind of click the self-destruct button, you know, where it's like you click it and both you and your opponent's life points hit 0 because they quit YouTube over this. But I think they were hoping that it would also destroy Tectone as well, which is weird. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
You lose subscribers.
It was
and anytime you're in drama with a larger content creator, you get sympathy because you're the little guy seen as the underdog.
Yep.
And you get into the larger creator's algorithm, and that gets you more views. This is a cope tape used to manipulate people who don't know how YouTube works. But that's the goddamn truth. And let me tell you why this is the truth. Chad, how would someone become relevant by beefing with someone nobody knows? No MMA fighter will ever get their big break by fighting someone nobody knows. But every single fighter will get their big break by merely being in the same ring as another larger fighter. It's the same thing with YouTube. You gain relevancy by beefing with larger content creators.
Yep.
But these people really, really, really want to change the narrative and say, oh, the little guys gets punished. That's not how it works. And you know the majority of your audience don't know how YouTube works. That is a deceitful, manipulative statement, which was the entirety of Jinjinx and Tuner. More so Jinjinx. I actually like Tuner quite a bit, but Jinjinx was just salty and up, bro. Legit. I'm glad he got off YouTube straight up. Like, bro would just yap in the most the most disingenuous way possible. But the problem is when people see that issue, they're not aware of that context. So hopefully I made that make sense.
Regardless of what people thought of it.
That's why you always punch up. It was like think about it. That's why Gunners always punch up. Think about how many times you see like hundreds of smaller content creators attacking one large content creators, but how many times do you see large content creators attacking millions of smaller content creators? It just doesn't happen because it's not beneficial.
Around this time that Tectone talked with Dr. K, an interview I recommend everyone watch for themselves to gain a better understanding of where Tectone's mind was during this time.
I was up as well. I will admit.
It went back to normal.
I mean, things behind the scenes that I can't talk about were really up. Things on content were really up. That interview is very painful to watch.
Damn.
Until, of course.
Oh no! What did I do this time?
Okay, this one is just funny.
Oh no.
With no specific date on both of these accusations that stemmed into the drama, Tectone came under fire on Twitter, because of course Twitter has a problem, and on his videos, specifically being a rape and or a pet. In regards to being a pet, without context, Tectone put Klee in a waifu tier list. Now, as for where this waifu tier list is, where he says the cool...
Now, I did say that I get what Tectone was saying, but he should have just had a category that said, I'm not rating this person, it's a child, go fuck yourself. So I get why him rating Klee could be considered a little bit odd or controversial. But I do get that he said she could be the waifu of another 12-year-old. But still.
Quote, that Klee could be...
It's not that big of a deal.
Please give the context of this.
Waifu to another 12-year-old. I can't...
Guys, wait to hear the context, please. Wait to hear the context.
Can't find it, but the closest I have is this.
Fan of blondes. Next up, Kaching. I don't have one. Next up, we have Klee. Everybody's favorite daughter. Okay? Look, I know what I said earlier. I know about the disclaimer. But unfortunately, look. She's too cute. If somebody else were to try to date my daughter, Klee, I would beat the out of them. In case someone sees this list, oh God, I can't put her in D tier. I can't, it breaks my heart. I will put you in C tier. I can't. C for child, okay? C for child, Klee. This is fine, all right? She's having a great time.
Please give the full context!
The video of it is most likely deleted.
Hold on,
There's plenty of
Tectone.
evidence of him claiming he said it.
Hold
and
on.
making it out to be not a big deal.
Yo!
Klee may be 12 years old.
Hold on.
But she could be a waifu. Being called a
Get the full context!
He will.
Yo!
It's okay, Tectone.
because I said Klee's a waifu.
God, it's so easy to clip shit out of context. It would be easy to take this at face value, but because I'm digging up everything
Please.
with full context that I can find,
Klee may be 12 years old, but she could be a waifu for another 12-year-old person, okay? Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God, bro. Thank God, bro. That clip out of context was so bad. That clip cut out of context
It was really bad.
was so bad. It was so bad. Dude, everybody was coming to me about that clip, calling me a freak, bro. I even had my, well, okay, never mind. I shouldn't talk about her either. But another person who was a part of my life, who was much younger, they were related to me via blood, was very upset for hearing that on the internet, as well as my family members as well. So I had to show them the full context too, because that shit was weird.
Yeah, so apparently,
Imagine your family contacting you for that.
and have a crush on another 12-year-old. Is being called a, because I said Klee's a waifu to another 12-year-old. 5 months ago, no joke, I got canceled on Twitter, and they took all of these clips from me out of context, and I was called transphobic, homophobic, and a. The reason why I was called a was because I was making this thing called a waifu tier list, where there's this character in this game I call, her name's Klee. She's 12 years old, and the statement I said was that Klee could be a waifu for another 12-year-old.
in the video where I thought he deleted it or whatever, I found this comment that quotes it. Being called a pedophile is a serious accusation. A very serious one. Career-ending, possibly. And the fact that he was called a pedophile and clipped completely out of context is pretty dumb.
Yep.
This was taken out of context in screenshots that lacked the verbiage for its clarity, and clipped.
That's kind of been the history of my whole career, man. People clipping me out of context, making it sound like I said shit that I never.
Exactly. Because this is all for an anime game. Don't forget.
And then forcing me to defend viewpoints that I never had to begin with. And you know what's crazy? Hey, we still on top, boys. Hey. 1v9ing. One man versus the whole planet still on top, baby. It don't matter. Make sure to follow the stream.
To make it seem as if he genuinely was a.
Yes, sir.
Subsequently, Tectone, obviously, defends himself against Lear's accusations. And with no proof of the transgressions beyond a single clip or image without context, Tectone moves on.
Yep.
And
Winner.
there's Yunjin. Tectone made an insensitive comment on the trailer of Yunjin, stating that she sounds.
I don't think that this comment was insensitive at all. What would have made it insensitive is if he would have been like, oh yeah, this Chinese style of singing is dog shit. That I could see is a little bit insensitive. But saying that you just don't like a singer, that's fine. Like, come on now.
Sounds like a fire truck whined during her Oh Maestro line that played.
Oh.
I mean, come on, guys.
Like, it might be fine for a little bit, but then after a while, it's just gonna sound like a fire truck.
It was
This
bad.
sparked controversy
I
over
remember
whether or
this.
not he hated Chinese people because
This
of
is
the
a
single instance
classic.
of singing happened to not be in his taste.
Apparently, wait, xenophobia. What is that?
And I even remember whenever this whole thing was happening, I remember looking up that style of Chinese singing, and I found videos where it doesn't sound like that. It sounds actually really good. But this particular version of it may not have been the best example. Sort of fire trucky. But again, everyone can enjoy a singer. Everyone cannot enjoy a singer. That's fine. You know, and I think the example that I used on my initial reaction was T-Swizzle. Some people like her, some people don't. I think she's a queen. some people just aren't into the whole breakup music, okay? But I like to cry, okay? I like to feel my feelings.
Classic react.
So,
What? Hey, sorry for thinking that a bit of a song is bad, which makes me, you know.
Additionally, in a video
Insane.
about the racial insensitivity, he explains himself and directly apologizes for the remarks being insensitive to the Chinese opera culture, not knowing how much it meant to them and how bad it was to say what he said.
I would like to apologize.
Hey, I'll keep it a buck. It wasn't really that bad. It was kind of funny.
yeah, this one was just dumb.
It was bad.
I'm going to fast forward through this one.
Here we go.
Oh, this next drama.
This was
Okay.
so good.
This next drama is actually, I want to see him go
I
off.
think you're correct. I think there's a big difference
Oh, Techie was too soft, man. He was too soft.
in not liking.
You gotta understand why I was soft, though, and that was because I knew I had to appease these people. Free-to-play streamers are all mint.
Never.
This one.
The fifth instance.
So I already know that Ratsu is the biggest POS ever in terms of this particular drama. And I know that Techie was definitely a victim of it. I just want to see him rage right now. So this is, I already know the
This one was a rough one.
right
Battle
person
Impact
versus the
Dramatica
wrong
happens
person.
when a close friend of Tectone, direct roommate Goose Egg, created a video on another content creator, Asian Guy Streams, or as he's more commonly known, Atsu. The drama began
Yeah,
when
this was
Or as he's more
huge.
commonly known, Ratsu.
Atsu subtweeted, an action where one creates a vague statement that can relate to someone without directly mentioning them, about a content creator, saying the following.
There's a lot of creators that come across as genuinely nice people on stream/video, but are actually
No,
like
man.
parasites behind the scenes. Okay? If you don't bend to their will, they'll make a big deal out of it, publicly, or drag your name through the mud.
And again, during my initial reaction, I already, said what I thought about Ratsu and how ironic all of these comments are, knowing what we know now. So, if you're curious, go watch the previous video, which will be up on my YouTube this upcoming week.
Behind your back to other creators.
Do you know how dangerous of a comment it is to tweet that out and put general distrust and paranoia amongst the community for no reason?
Not a bad, not a
Which is crazy because it's such a self-report.
bad overall thing to say. Who? Why are we not naming who?
Additionally, also saying,
Goose got his life by this, by the way. Like, Goose got hard by this, but there is a happy ending.
Then there was another tweet, okay, that said, there are many creators in the Genshin circle and wider connected circles I'd like to befriend or get to know better. But they're already in so deep with many people who are awful people off stream, and it makes me skeptical if they're just naive or also awful behind the scenes. Then there was a subtweet saying,
Man, all these people being friends with these people, man, they're so stupid, man. They should be friends with me instead.
I feel very bad when I can see someone is trying to make an effort, but I cannot get a clear judgment of their character, so I just keep them at an arm's length to avoid risk of getting mixed in with people who have ill intentions or just horrible to talk to behind the scenes.
Those three tweets are just crazy to make. Like, because you know what those do? What those do is...
They
and
are
tell me if
insane.
this sounds familiar. Those tweets make so many people feel unsafe, and they don't know who to talk to, so then they have to turn to Atsu to get his opinion on who they shouldn't or should communicate with, and they use him as a guide, and then what does he do to all of them? It's the same photo. It's the same photo. Brax is a creep.
such a vague blanket statement from a content creator that is directly supported by MiHoYo about the content creator space at large makes it very difficult for interpretation. However, while Goose Egg only wanted to know who Atsu was talking about, it was relatively clear that Atsu genuinely did not like Tectone, especially after the interaction between Tectone and Viosity previously.
Yep.
Goose is just your
Yeah.
minion. He's your yes man. Nobody gives a shit about Goose. He's just the discount version of you. It's so ironic because Goose's whole career is just built off leeching off Tectone.
God, he just has one of those faces that you just want to... Ugh.
And he's just there nodding. And it's like, are you not embarrassed for yourself? Are you just not embarrassed? How are you insulting someone else's numbers when yours is born from leeching of this guy?
That's the wholesome guy that everybody says is wholesome, right? This guy? This is the real wholesome guy, huh? Oh, okay. This is the unproblematic guy, right?
Tectone, especially after the interaction between Tectone
Watch
and
Goose's face while he's
previously.
hearing this.
Goose is just your little minion. He's your yes man. Nobody gives a shit about Goose. He's just a discount version of you. It's so ironic because Goose's whole career is just built off leeching off Tectone. And he's just there nodding. And it's like, are you not embarrassed for yourself? Are you just not embarrassed? How are you insulting some?
Why did he let them affect him so much? Well, first of all, you gotta understand, Goose is very young, and me and Goose lived in the same house. That's why it's very different. With other people you can space yourself from, Goose could not. And so the only way that Goose could get space, because he felt so bad of all the issues he caused me, he sat in his room for 3 days straight with the lights off. In complete silence. I shit you not. It was like,
What?
because when you go after someone's like in their house, like it's very, especially with no proof whatsoever.
That's crazy.
It's very different when like you see like a clip of someone slamming a door on someone else and forcing their brothers to tears live on stream versus, well,
That
this
drama
guy
comes
read my
later.
subtweets and now I'm gonna go and attack everybody in his whole house.
I was trying to figure out, is that a British accent that Atsu has? I
Right?
couldn't
It's
tell.
very different. This shit is very uncomfortable.
Someone else's numbers.
And the tone of his voice just it itches my ear. Oh, I hate it. I
When
hate
yours
it.
is born from leeching of this guy.
Accusing the duo of drama baiting and going so far as to blame them together with full confidence.
Drama starts by reading someone else's subtweets. It wasn't the guy subtweeting that caused the issue. It's the guy reading the subtweet who caused the issue. It's this backward logic that the gotcha community tries to use to weaponize anything against anybody. It is so this, bro.
There's been an issue with Tectone and
bit of a
Goose Egg where they
snob.
keep drama baiting.
And now, when anybody, you're right. This carries on until today. Hold up. You know that what's crazy? This thought carried over to this day. Hex just being an example. Yeah. Now, when anybody is friends with me, they call him a leech, a dick rider, a glazer, and a yes man. So this dude has still my career to this day where people are horrified. Even Mr. Pokey, whether he wants to admit it or not, I can tell Mr. Pokey is gaining resentment from so many people guilting him for merely being friends with me. Because now, even in his own head, yesterday when we talked, and we're gonna have to talk about this again. Even yesterday when we talked, I asked him why does he think that he's considered a drama baiter, and he said because he's friends with me. And it really sucks, because that bullshit has followed me to this day. And now anybody I care about, anybody I try to help out with, is gonna get shit for merely being my friend. And you know what it all stems from? It's just from people being jealous. So much so we're like, now it's even hard for me to want to interact with people because I know the issue that's caused if you merely interact with me. And it's the same thing that Asmongold gets. Asmongold is horrified of bringing other people on his stream because he's afraid of what the internet might do to them. And it sucks that I'm getting to that level because my problem is I'm a very social guy. I love talking to people nonstop. But the fact that I have an AoE DOT effect that I leave on people, like your mom when she leaves herpes on people, that damage them for the rest of their lives
Hey.
by merely being friends with me is...
She's working on it.
Both the Genshin TikTok community, the Genshin Twitter community, and most importantly to me and closest to me, the Genshin content creators.
He was being mean to Twitter and TikTok users. What the is that? You're telling me because the Twitter community and the TikTok community's angry at me, that's my fault? It's one guy versus millions of people. Like, what the
creator community by throwing a lot of bait tweets out there, by throwing a lot of shade on their streams or even in their video.
This is such a pussy take in order to rally the community behind him and say, don't worry guys, I'll save you from the evil white man. Like, Jesus Christ.
VOD highlights, and it's just very frustrating, and it's something that has not changed. In fact, it's probably regressed in terms of progression from the Enviosity and Tectone drama, or all the way back since the Jin Jinx and Tuna versus Tectone drama. Since then, the drama the chaos, the toxicity, it just keeps happening.
The chaos. Oh my god. The chaos. Chaos control. Infinite drama farming. He's caused chaos. So dramatic, bro. These people are so dramatic.
Right in the middle of this, direct messages between Atsu and Tectone were leaked, much to Tectone's dismay. Within them, there was a sensitive conversation about Tectone's past trauma.
Full disclosure, and I will just say it because it's already talking about. Atsu made me leak DMs because he said I was shitting on other content creators in those DMs. And in those DMs, I had opened up to Atsu previously about my trauma. And I was not ready to show that publicly. Now I guess it is what it is. I talk about it every now and then to show people that there is life after severe traumatic events. But yeah, I was not ready to share that trauma with the world. And he made me do that because he said that there was DMs in there that weren't there. And then said, well, you didn't have to show them, but I had to because if I didn't, I couldn't clear my name. And he, to this day, does not get it.
Atsu essentially made the situation where Tectone's only defense was to bring them out and speak about them. Atsu, with nothing to lose in this situation, doing the same.
Has repeated itself over and over and over again. We're here again in January, and it hasn't gotten better. It's regressed. It's gotten even worse. Right? I feel like he's gotten even worse, and part of that reason is, one, Goose, who I believe is a yes man. He's always there in person, endorsing this behavior, allowing him to get away. Goose calls me out for subtweets, doesn't say anything to Tectone. Very
again, the irony of Atsu saying all this
when Tectone tells lies, the example
insane.
being the deleting DMs, they're all like, ha ha ha, caught him in 4K, without even thinking about it, without even challenging the reasoning or the logic, and that's yes man behavior. It's, well, what I perceive is he feels.
Or it's not yes man behavior and not, oh, hey, this guy said something. I'm going to study it in great detail now.
Feels like he's done nothing wrong.
God, I really want this dude off my screen, bro. I really hope this part is short.
But it didn't, because we're here today in January.
Even seeing this dude's face just irritates the
out of me. Causing issues for
his
other
outsides
people.
are disgusting, just like his
The
inside.
voice is like nails on a chalkboard,
I'm
bro.
not here to receive
It really
an apology.
is.
I'm not here to demand an apology. I'm not here to give forgiveness or receive forgiveness or even offer an apology, because I stand by everything that I said.
This drama went back and forth, and even directly brought Tectone into it, the result of such an ordeal ending up with Gooseegg accidentally leaking Tectone's address and moving out.
That was really fun to deal with.
Taking care of myself. I was also taking care of Goose, who used to live in that room, but then I realized I cannot take care of him because I am a broken human being. And a broken human being cannot take care of another broken human being, which caused both of our emotions to be absolutely horrible. So he moved out, and honestly, that's okay. I feel like that's the best decision for both of us. It is what it is. It is what it is. Am I sad? Not even remotely. Because
I have a
Yeah,
habit of protecting people.
yeah, that part I remember. I even said like, I don't know. I don't know if that was the right thing to say. Like, you can still be sad that you kind of like lost a friend. I don't know.
And you'll notice that throughout my life, that for people who deserve protecting,
Yeah.
and I even deserve people who don't deserve protecting, I try very hard to make sure that people can split off from me in a very cordial way.
you can't be sad when you do what you know what's right for both of your mental health. I will leave one
You
point
can
out.
still be
I'm sure a lot of you
sad.
can assume
There's
what
no
happened
rule
in
that you
thing.
can't.
But I'm going to go ahead and go past that part. After Atsu made those claims about Goose, he could not live with the guilt. It made him start doing things that he regretted very quickly. One of those things was he leaked my address live on stream.
That was
an accident.
rough.
I already talked about
This
that.
is during the point where I was underneath a lot of death threats. It was not good, and it scared the out of me. Maybe you can call me an ass over this. Maybe you understand where I'm coming from.
That shit
I
sucked.
asked Goose,
It still blows me away that Tectone is like 3 hours away from me.
since
It's
he was the
crazy.
one who leaked my address and put me at a security risk, I asked him to help me pay for a security system. Unfortunately, his analytics were absolutely f***ed up due to Atsu completely ruining his career.
Obliterated his
Goose said
channel.
He couldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. And we agreed to never talk to each other again.
Yeah, that was a goose.
That shit is rough. I don't know how that is for a viewer, but even hearing that shit again, that shit sucks. That shit
That's-
sucks hearing that shit again, man.
As overall,
That's a
he
shit
took
friend
a step
move.
away from consistent content creation.
Yeah.
With the moving out and shaky ground Tectone was on, it seemed shortly after this he was on the up and up, remaining drama-free for what looked to be about a year.
Things were great.
At least, nothing serious. But during that drama-free year, someone made a video on Tectone, and while Tectone didn't care for this video,
Alright, so he's about to go into the whole soul flip drama. I feel like that's pretty overdone. Dangerous position. Yeah, no, exactly. And Goose really did not help his... What is that face? What did I pause on? Is this still...
I'll talk to you serious.
Okay, yeah, it's still soul.
To cry.
into the woven fabric of shit that Envy has put out there. But we're going to focus
Oh,
exclusively
yeah, this
on
is
the
the
interactions
Envy.
between Envy and Tectone.
Okay.
In the most recent
I think it was pretty obvious that Envy is kind of a
explosion of drama where everyone had to
baby.
get their word out, Envy was no exception. With
This
a
shit is
12
so
tweet long
weird.
Twitter post highlighting their PTSD.
This shit was the weirdest shit ever, saying I gave him PTSD.
Dude, again, it's one of those buzzwords that people just throw around that blows my mind. It's like, imagine telling someone who actually suffers from PTSD, being like, yeah, this guy said mean things about an anime game, and I still haven't recovered. I think about it every night. Imagine.
This shit was so weird.
It was
Tectone,
weird.
a term that is considered grave to those who actually have it. Envy does not. Enviosity attempts to levy their outburst on stream being caused by Tectone, when the outburst was not even caused by Tectone in the first place.
I know. He blames everything on me. We all know who it was caused. His own brain, brother man.
Idiots on Twitter.
Or idiots on Twitter.
Some actual dumbasses on Twitter.
Oh my
And I
god.
scroll down and I see this one mother
Yeah.
who's following me, so I'm a little disappointed. And they're like, Envy, how long are you going to remain as the only content creator not addressing the Genshin situation?
Two
Question
guide.
mark. You know what's even more disappointing?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got other people who are still following me. Min says, I don't think he will. He actively stays out of any negativity. Coward or what? That's for everyone to think. Me kind of disappointed, though. So it's not one guy being a dumbass, it's two being a dumbass.
Bro gets two guide on Twitter.
Dude. Oh my god.
Blames me for it. I'm in bro's head so much.
And the fact that it's on Twitter. Twitter is like the scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of opinions and comments and everything. Having a Twitter is your first mistake. You shouldn't have one. No one should have one.
He blames me for every unfortunate action in his whole.
Envy thinks about Tectone every night before he goes to sleep. Every single night.
life.
Copy pasta aside,
Two guide like his mom gets every.
He still thinks about this Min comment to this day through his PTSD.
every night.
I should be the only
I can't. This clip is too funny to me.
dumbass.
What makes it better is that he's a little slime. Oh my god.
copy pasta aside,
I should be the only mother getting praise in the Genshin community because I don't spend money on Genshin Impact.
this is but a fraction of how Envy treats anyone he views as inferior to him. A question from someone who follows him about current events. It wasn't even harmful. It was merely a question, and Envy berates, belittles, and demonizes the one person who asked the question and the other who replied.
Imagine that.
Envy's supposed emotional trauma was weaponized and directed at Tectone, going so
Yep.
far as to bring up his previous marriage as a reason for how Envy was being treated.
Imagine that.
This was the massive point of contention, as Envy went from making it about Tectone to his love life. This post, garnering a massive viewing and even being ridiculed on stream by Tectone, brought nothing.
Bro, I love how I just called him a bitch. Frame one, he posts that. I frame one, bitch him out, and that post ratios his trauma post.
This post, garnering a massive viewing and even being ridiculed.
Envy, you have a history of getting one guide on Twitter and one guide on Twitch and making small things into enormous issues that anyone else could move forward from. You're incredibly sensitive to anything. I offered you money for beating Spyro Abyss. You threw a tamper tantrum on stream and said you're hurting my free-to-play pride. Bro, I bodied him.
Dear
He sat there
Lord.
for nights, weeks, typing that up to cancel me. I cancel him with a off-rip frame one improv post. You can't compete. You wonder why? Because the truth is on my side. And brothers and sisters, the truth will set you free.
Ridiculed on stream by Tectone, brought nothing but shame to Envy and granted Tectone the reason to respond with his own post.
Yeah.
3. Jinjinx the Tuner. Jinjinx
Another W.
the Tuner drama. The only
Oh, okay, so this is the conclusion to everything. Yeah, basically, now that I have context to the whole Jinjinx and Tuner situation, it seems like Tectone won every single one of these. But I do want to watch the final reaction to the conclusion of this video.
I'm doing very well in life now. And Goose is doing incredible in life now. And,
Yes.
it is.
You feel the need to go out of your way to attack other people just because your favorite content creator disagrees with them. Holy shit, you guys are like methed up chimps in a zoo.
Hey, chat, if somebody with me, get them. Hey, I'll say it, man. Don't be the bigger man, because you know they won't. Get them. Because I will eat them in real life. I will eat their corpse.
I can't believe how many goddamn comments I've had to read that said, go kill yourself, X person, or you should be hanged or lynched.
Insane.
Like, oh my god. Stop attacking other people just because your content creator disagrees.
Dude, the amount of death threats that I've gotten in my life has to be like at least nearing records for people of my size.
That is
because
insane.
goddamn, bro, the visceral reaction I get from people by merely just existing is nuts.
with them. My god, you're all so retarded.
True. Let's hear it, man. What are your thoughts?
So there's one more drama I gotta bring up.
Yep.
It's about Tectone being on stream,
Uh-huh.
jerking off or some shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit. There, give me a second. I gotta piss.
This is a thing like he does. It's an extreme example, and he loves extreme examples.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
You got this.
Going on where a bunch of like girls were popping onto Twitch streams and just basically advertising their other sites that they
Yep.
sell their
Yep.
product, which is just their bodies and stuff, and it just kind of
Now, I could have just said, man, I don't like how these chicks are doing this. Or I could show people why it's a problem.
I think they should all be banned immediately.
Right? And sure, it was an extreme thing to do, but I'm an extreme wicked guy.
and yeah, if you just kind of piece those things together, it's just a nothing burger, honestly. Like,
True.
It's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal. And I don't think that it's fair to call him like a pervert or in that regard, just because like, I mean, what are you gonna do in that regard? He's just putting an extreme example up. And yeah, he could have talked about it, but whatever.
It really,
Dude,
it's always
that
that.
clip
It's just whatever.
Popped my channel the off. Like, dude. That shit got me so much respect, it was insane. Because I did the shit that nobody else would have done. And then I didn't even get banned. which themselves confirmed they saw it, and they still said we weren't going to ban him because they thought it was funny.
Was supposed to come out and a bunch of other projects right after it, but something else came up and I had to push it forward. So the next video I'm going to be making is another long video, and it's going to be on Elden Ring. Now,
yeah, I'll watch that shit.
Long form part 2. This video needs looking up location, opinions, the org, content creator. Yeah.
Bro single-handedly did the trial of Tectone himself. And I feel like he hit the nail on the head the majority of the video. Nobody can make 100% accuracy, but I felt that video was awesome, man. Yo, Riker, can't wait for your Elden Ring video. Boys, make sure to go like, comment, and subscribe to his channel to get him up to 1,000 subs. That would be cool. So if you have a second, if you want to go give him a like, feel free to go there and do it, man. It is very difficult because so many people say happened and then they never saw it. Yeah, I mean, I've had a very difficult journey as a content creator, and I understand that it's not really going anywhere. Yo, Riker, appreciate the video.
All right, well, yeah. I mean, you know, I got context on the one drama that I thought Tectone might have been in the wrong in, which was the Jinjings and Tuner. And after hearing Tectone's side, it's like, shit, can't argue with that. So, yet again, Tectone has been vindicated of all crimes and charges. I'm honestly not surprised. He usually is. Is he still a dick? 100%. But he's our dick. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, got nothing else. All right, bye-bye.